Hello there. Today I want to talk to you about function calling and how this is an important tool when you build LLM applications. So let's get started. Function calling allows you to build natural language interfaces on top of your existing enterprise architecture. So what does that mean? So using function calling, you can build UI which enables users to make their request using natural language. It could be querying enterprise databases or knowledge documents, or even taking action like creating a case or updating an order or getting claim information or getting approval, things like that, all using natural language. Okay, so like how does this work behind the scenes, right? So at a high level, when a user enters a query, you send the query to the model. In addition to that, you also send all the enterprise functions you have available to the model. The model will analyze that user request will also inspect the functions available, and it's going to return to you which functions to call to fulfill that request. So let's see how it, the workflow, how it looks, and then we'll take a look at a demo. So here, a user basically types in show me auto and home insurance details of Devin. His account number is this, all right? So this is a user query. You pass the user query to the large language model over here, but you also pad it with the functions available. Basically, functions are nothing but your enterprise functions. The large language model will decompose and understand the query, will also inspect the function definitions, and will return to you which function to call and how to call it. All right, so what arguments to pass, things like that. Then what you do is, okay, now you know which function to call to fulfill this request over here. You execute that function against your enterprise APIs or microservices or whatever. You get back data in XML or JSON format, and then you send it back to the LLM saying, hey, I executed the function you told me to execute. Here are the results. So now the large language model has the query. It has the function. It also has the results of the function. It will inspect all that and present it back as a final answer in a natural language, human readable format. So that's at a high level how function calling works. Remember, the large language model is not executing the function or the enterprise API or the microservices execution. No, it's not executing it. It is just telling you which one to execute. All right. So let's take a look at a small demo. Okay. So if you want more information about function calling, you can take a look at this page. There is an example over here. I took that as an inspiration and created a lean demo. All right. So let's get started by installing the library needed. And this is the OpenAI API key which I need to invoke the OpenAI function. Okay, so here what I've done is this is a very simple Python function which takes in location as an input argument and returns a weather object. Okay. It does basically, in your enterprise, this will be a API call or a microservices call or a database lookup. But here it is just a dummy function, just to, make you understand the concept. Now what we are going to do is we are going to convert this Python function into a format which OpenAI understands. So this is a format you have to follow. All right. Let me run this. So the important thing over here is this description and the name, right? The description particularly, make sure you give it a good description, because that is what the large language model will look at when you pass in the query and the different functions. So this kind of acts uh, as a, it kind of acts as a prompt for the function. Okay. Now let's create a message which we are gonna send to OpenAI. So this is nothing but, as a user, I'm gonna ask what's the weather like in Boston. Okay, and I'm gonna pass the message, but I'm also gonna pass which functions I have available to fulfill this. Okay, so right now it's just one function I have here, but you could pass in an array of functions. All right, so let's do this. So we sent the request, it came back to us saying, hey, you need to execute this function and pass in this argument. And there's no content over here because it doesn't know how to fulfill your request till you execute the function and give it the data. Okay, so the next step is for us to execute this function based on the arguments the large language model has returned. Let's do that. Okay, we executed this function based on the arguments which the large language model told us to pass right over here. Now this result, we are gonna append it to the original query and pass everything to the large language model. And that's what we do over here. So now we get back a nice result saying the current weather in Boston is this, and this is the forecast. And the role, you can see it is assistant, right? So hope this was helpful. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.